your rain mode indicator. Once you feel comfortable with the bike, feel free to switch it, but we want you to leave here in rain mode.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, guys. Woo! Long time coming. Holy crap! The Pan America, been in the works for so long. Finally into production. You can get one now, and we have the pleasure of riding one today. Unguided test ride route, so that's rad. Oh, woo! UPS, dude. Oh. Okay, so kind of an odd clutch, killed it there. We've got self-canceling turn signals, which is cool too. But let's just get out here and start riding, get a feel of the bike. We'll start talking a little bit more. And we're gonna ditch this rain mode right now. Put it in sport. Woo! No need to close the throttle for that sport mode. And woohoo! All right. So we've got the Pan America, the 2021 Pan America. It's finally here. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you right away. I've sat on, and I've only ridden one other adventure bike. So this review of this bike is going to come from somebody who has never ridden off-road, but I have. Last year I was this close. I was this close to buying an adventure bike. We're gonna take it easy because these have knobby tires, and I've never ridden with knobby tires before. So I don't want to overdo it. This windshield is adjustable. Oh, let's cancel that signal. So I'm not going to cancel getting on the freeway. We're not going to adjust it. I don't want to get into trouble. Or I don't want to be unsafe. So I've never ridden off-road, but it's an aspiration of mine. I've ridden the BMW, the F850 GS. I loved that bike, and I can tell you right off the bat, I mean, this bike feels pretty similar in the way that it feels, and the way when I mounted the bike, felt very similar to the 850, which is a big deal because this is a 1250, and it's competitive in just about every aspect of every other bike in its class. In the adventure bike class, 1200, Harley really cut the weight of this bike. When I first saw it, I thought, holy crap, that thing looks like a bulky monster. It's going to be heavy. No adventure bike rider is going to want to ride it, but they really cut the weight down. It's all the way down to about 536 pounds running weight. And the seat height is adjustable, and it's a very, very approachable seat height. I'm 5'6", and my inseam is about 30 inches, and I had no problem mounting this bike, no problem getting both toes down, so I felt secure. The bike is not top heavy, feels really nice when you get on, and so it's like everything was ideal from the start getting on this bike. Now we'll talk about the controls here really quickly. On the left, I mean, there's a lot to look at here on the special version of the Pan America, and it comes with a lot of awesome standard features that I wish the Harley Cruisers, to be frank, I wish the Harley Cruisers came with these kind of standard features. Maybe they'll take a page from the Pan America book, and they will and they'll give you more features standard on other cruisers, because really, you know, when you're paying $20,000 for a bike, you would expect more than what you get out of a Harley-Davidson cruiser, to be honest. Actually, I shouldn't say to be honest, but in my opinion. So slow speed, I mean, high speed, this bike is doing everything well so far. It says that it has mid controls, which, you know, when you think of mid controls on a Harley, you think your feet maybe like right there. But this bike is definitely feels more like, it's not rear controls, but they're right underneath you, and that's perfect for off-road riding, because, you know, when you need to stand up off your seat and make maneuvers, the platform here feels really solid for doing that. Now, the difference between knobby tires and street tires, I'm gonna say, just from personal experience, I don't really feel that big of a difference. You know, if I was to really try and to lean this bike over, which this bike is so much more capable than a Harley Cruiser. It's 42-degree lean angle on both sides, so no problem. The seat height laden for the special is about 31.1 inches, and for the standard version it's about 31.8, so under 32 inches, which is huge, because again, when you're looking at the adventure bike segment for a shorter rider like myself, you're looking at kind of being intimidated by the ride height. And I know, if there are any of you out there that are shorter riders, you can attest to that. But this bike is approachable in just about every way. It comes with 5 different ride modes. Those ride modes don't just affect like throttle response and like the amount of horsepower that you get, which this bike gets 150 max horsepower, which is awesome. 94 pound-feet of torque. But it doesn't just adjust the power, it adjusts your suspension too. So there's so much technology baked into this bike, and really just, I mean, you're talking about night and day between a typical Harley-Davidson. If they were taking the time to refine all of this over the past couple years, that this bike was supposed to be released last year, finally released now, and like, all I can say is it was worth the wait. As you can see on the gentleman's here next to me, all LED lighting, not just the head and tail light, but also your turn signals are LED. These are things that Harley, I feel like, I don't want to say have been cutting corners for years, but they've definitely been skimping on things, if you ask me, in my humble opinion. So this is adjustable. Let's see, you got to pull that back and then push it down, so that's nice too. Revved a little high there, because so the clutch is a little bit getting used to. I ride a 1290 Super Duke 2015. Woo. Oh my goodness. So I was trying to talk about the controls, and I got sidetracked because having so much fun on this ride. But there's a lot to look at here. You've got adjustable grip warmers, you got high beams, low beams, cruise control, which comes standard with the special. Might come standard as usual. I'll have that in the comments if so. You got, I think this is probably a trip toggle, and then your infotainment controls are all here. Yeah, you got your horn and turn signal, which is all on the left here, as opposed to a typical Harley where you'd have turn signals on both sides of your controls. And then you've got your traction control on and off on the left here, as well as your Bluetooth or voice command on the right. Again, more infotainment options on the left. Hazards, or excuse me, on the right. Hazards, ride mode, and then they've got this little little knob here for turning the bike on, and then right in the middle of that knob is your ignition. So yeah, this bike is really well balanced. Even with knobby tires, I feel confident leaning into those turns. And like I said, the lean angle is much more than you're going to get on a typical Harley. Probably closer to something like the Street Series, which never did really well. But they put the effort, they put the engineering into this bike, and I gotta say, this has moved up, in my opinion. Well, you know, we'll have to wait and see as far as like reliability goes. But this Revolution Max 1250 engine feels great. It's quiet, you know, it's not your typical Harley-Davidson engine, but it really gets on it, especially in sport mode. It's fantastic. And I'm not just saying that for a Harley or for an adventure bike. When I rode the 750, or excuse me, the 850 GSA, the BMW, didn't really have the power like this. Again, it's a smaller displacement engine with lower specifications as far as you know, is your horsepower and your max torque. But this bike, holy crap, this is an amazing bike. And honestly, we're talking about the full package here. This one has tank guards here already installed. They look nice, they feel solid. The seat is really comfortable, and what's crazy is all you do is take the passenger seat off, and you can make a manual adjustment on the rider's seat for height. And really, the gentleman who introduced me to the bike let me know that the seat is adjustable, and that's awesome, because for someone who's taller and wants to raise the bike up, they're really going to have that option. And it was super quick. I mean, he did it in like 15 seconds. It was just so fast. So you got a lot of extra options with the Special. You've got these the hand guards here in front of your grips. Again, I'm not an adventure rider, so if I'm just really failing on the names of these things, just forgive me. But a lot of other things, I'm going to put all of the extra features that you're going to get on the Special standard, as opposed to just the standard model. The Special comes in 4 different colorways, and the standard only comes in 2. And you can see the different badging on the standard model as on the Special. And I personally, I mean, if I was going to get one of these, even though the Special comes in at $2,000, about $2,000 more, the standard comes in just over 17,000, and the Pan America Special comes in at about 20 grand. But to be honest, this isn't your typical Harley delivery where the Special version, you know, has upgraded paint, maybe a little more chrome. We're talking about some actual real upgrades here on this bike. And to me, the $2,000 is actually justified when you're talking about upgrading from the standard version to the Special. You know, on a typical Harley, you would think, oh, you know, they're gonna add these guards for your hands, maybe the rack on the back, maybe an engine guard, and that would be it. But no, there's quite a bit of extra technology and performance upgrades for the Special version. Now this bike comes standard with traction control, and they call it cornering traction control, as well as cornering ABS, which is, I mean, these are things that other bike companies have had on their bikes for years. And it's I mean, honestly, it's great that Harley's taking this step to make these changes, to introduce a bike like this that, honestly, when I first saw the Pan America, I thought it was hideous. To me, it looked like a Frankenstein bike. None of the aesthetics looked cohesive to me. It kind of just looked like they pieced something together. But after riding it, after seeing it for the last 2-3 years, really grown on me. You know, it doesn't have that big duckbill front fender that's typical on an adventure bike, and to me, I think it looks decent, and it's definitely grown on me, because in the beginning I was not a huge fan of the way that this bike looked. You got a 6.8 inch TFT display here, which is super clear. I mean, the sun is right above us, and it's super clear. Lots of instrumentation, lots of things to look at. And maybe I'll do a screen freeze here so you guys can really get a look of all the different things that are available to look at. And you know, you've got a toggle here on the screen that's going to give you temperature, your range probably before you have your next fill. Nope, something's going on here. Trip toggle, trip A, trip B, odometer, and that. We're back at the beginning. But yeah, just, I mean, so much to look at, so much to take in. I wish, I mean, this was a decent ride. When I did a test ride here before, I went literally around the block at Sac Harley. But this demo truck ride, you know, let us go on the freeway. We got some slow speed residential area here. But I mean, all in all, it was a great ride to get a feel of this motorcycle. And really, this thing performed just excellent all the way around. You know, we only really made one left turn, but left turn, right turn, it didn't matter. This thing impressed me all the way around. we're coming to the end here, so if I haven't answered any questions that you might have had, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. If you want to check out more of my test rides, I'll leave a link at the end of the video. But guys, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.